In this video, I'm gonna be talking about how you can make millions of dollars in tax liens with just a few thousands of dollars, okay? So that's a big deal. And most people don't talk about tax liens because it's not in their state or they don't wanna tell you what they got. But I have made hundreds of thousands of dollars buying tax liens. I've barely started. So you're gonna learn a lot from this video. Make sure you stay tuned to the end. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit our notification button. And make sure you text us at the number below. And make sure you comment and share it with a friend if you like the video. What are tax liens? Well, in most states, when you don't pay your taxes, that county will then auction off your property at a county tax sale once a year. And then depending on which state you're in, you have a redemption period, which means that you are gonna have to pay to redeem your property subject to reinstating the amount of taxes that are due. If you don't meet that redemption period, then the investor in that tax sale could own that property. Now, I will tell you very honestly that the states are not gonna take people's home away very easily. The way you make millions of dollars in tax sales, not by buying property that people live in and occupy that you got to kick them out of. You want to find the properties that are abandoned, that are distressed, that nobody's paid attention to, where there's a death in the family, been vacant for years. You want to buy tax liens in states with short redemption period. I'm going to give you a list of them. Mississippi has a great tax lien situation. Not only do you get to possibly own the property, but while you are bidding on the property, you're going to get 18% on your money if they do redeem. So if you bought the tax lien for $100, you're gonna get 18% on that $100 or 1.5% per month if they redeem it early. You could buy tax liens at the steps of the auction, or you could buy tax liens from people who have already bought them and they've actually matured. If you're gonna buy tax liens and you don't wanna wait, then I would buy the tax liens that have already matured. And you wanna look for third-party markets and stuff. We bought a tax lien in New Orleans, Louisiana for $3,000 that was already matured, that had a 96% interest in the property. That property in today's market is worth about $350,000. For $3,000, we bought a tax lien that's worth $350,000. Now we're gonna have to put money into the property. We gotta put a new roof on, we gotta paint it, water heaters, the whole 9 yards. So let's say we're gonna drop $30,000 to $40,000. It doesn't matter. When you buy a tax lien that's already matured, that means that the redemption period has run out. The owner can no longer redeem it if you choose to proceed with your thing. You actually own it. They have a certain period of time on the redemption period to redeem it. If they don't, that time passes. If you don't execute your option and they do redeem it, then that property would fall back to them. But you gotta check with your lawyers, you gotta check with your local laws and states. Every state's different. My whole point here is it's a way to leverage a little bit of money for a big payoff. And this is a homework type of a business. The more homework that you do, the more research that you do, the more driving that you do, then you can pinpoint exactly which properties that you're gonna bid on and identify the best ones. Don't bid on like these things that you know are gonna get redeemed, like a fancy house that you think you're gonna get.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
That's not the one you're gonna get. Maybe that's a needle in a haystack and maybe you get it, but if you do that, you're gonna be an undisciplined investor and you're gonna lose money versus make money. So if you're looking to get started investing in tax liens, the first thing that you need to do is you need to identify that the state that you're in, what are those requirements, okay? And then if you can invest in your state, you need to find out when those auctions take place. They usually happen about once a year. So what you wanna do is you wanna start aggregating data. You want to start finding data of people who are behind on tax rolls. You can get it from the county most times, and then you want to start identifying properties, finding out how far behind they are so that you can go bid on that property at the auction. And you got to find out what the rules are. Like in some of these counties in Mississippi that I've been in, they actually want you to come down formally so that the guys locally will get the deal versus you if you're out of state. Make sure you understand the rules and make sure you're ready to go, because otherwise it's kind of a little bit of a tricky game. You got to understand understand the rules of the game if you're gonna play it. I wanna tell you about some of the matured tax liens I've bought, how some things can just work out crazy and some things are still going. A couple years ago, a partner of mine, the Storage King, Christian Ard, invested in tax liens in Rochester, New York. But then COVID happened and the whole court system blew up. And the guys that we invested our money with ended up being not the nicest guys, and they really screwed the pooch when it came to actually doing what they said they were gonna do. So they actually didn't move forward, and we had to separate ourselves from these guys, go at it on our own when we invested and paid them a premium to work with them because these guys were bad actors.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
So now we're going through the foreclosure process, and that's what you have to do when you have a tax lien. You actually have to foreclose the note out, or you have to foreclose the person out to own that property. So be patient when you invest in tax liens, because tax liens is a long-term play. And if you pick the right property, you will turn a $2,000 tax lien into $200,000. There's 3 ways to really invest in tax liens. So you can either go to the county and bid on the property, do your research there, drive the properties, find the ones that you want, identify whatever you can afford. But the other thing that you can do, it's just a sneaky little thing that you can do, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do, is you can go find the people who lost their property at tax sale, but they're still within that redemption period. So basically, you go to that owner, you go to that heir, you go give him a few $1,000s, you knock the tax sale guy out, and then you buy the property. So you redeem the tax sale for the owner, you buy the owner's interest in the property because they've already lost it to tax sale and there's still a redemption period. That's a great way to make money in tax sales. The other thing that you can do is you can buy matured tax sales from other investors who just were after the 18% interest or whatever that county pays. And the reason why I'm gonna tell you that tax sales are so important, especially in like older counties and towns and cities, these are generational type of houses, and sometimes that generation just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. Let's talk about financing these deals. Can you get funding for tax liens? Abso-freaking-lutely, but it's going to cost you more money than a normal rate, and you're gonna have to find a specialized person to do it, and you're gonna have to be an experienced person to do that. So on financing mature tax liens, I know 100% you could do that, but there's always private money. If you have the right deal, call me up, we'll do a deal. To summarize, how do you get ahead of the competition? Well, if you did what I said in those steps, you'll get ahead of the competition. But really the best way is to have a really good data aggregator, not chase everything, and hunker down on what you're looking for. You're not gonna be chasing new homes. You wanna find vacant homes that possibly the person has passed away, maybe they didn't have any children. You want to identify the persons who are most likely to not redeem their tax lien. That's how you're gonna get the property. That's how you're gonna come up big time. Ideally, you want also a property that doesn't need a lot of work. So when you actually do the tax lien, you can just rent it out. In conclusion, I plan on doing a whole lot more investing in tax liens. I think it's one of the best investment strategies out there, and I think it's one of the best returns on your money. If you're patient and you have time and a little bit of money, I know guys who've invested $10,000 and turned it into $2 million. So you want to invest in tax liens, you want to follow the Troy Kearns channel, you want to subscribe to all of our socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everything. We're everywhere, and you want to help us grow because that allows us to bring you more content for free if you subscribe, if you like, if you comment, and you hit the notification button. Peace. We'll talk to you next time.